Welcome to another episode of Random Career Chats with Bukola. And in this episode, I'll be talking to you about 3 things that you need to pay attention to. Number 1 is that you need a career mapping tool. Number 2 is you need to manage your manager. And the third one is the only permission you need, you already have. So let's dive right into it. The first one is a lot of people are running on autopilot, which means that they are treating their career as though it does not need management, it does not need a vision, and they don't really need to sit and plan it out. And as such, they allow life to they ride with the waves. Okay, so they don't say this is my decision, this is where I'm headed, this is what I'm looking at. And as such, the story they're living in their career is not the one they have designed, it's the one that external factors have designed for them, or that life in itself has designed for them. And they do have, or you do have, all the power that you can imagine to write a story of your career. You've got the power, you can do it. It's all within your it's all within your perimeter of control to determine how you want to land, where you want to land, the kind of people you want to have in your network, the kind of knowledge you want to build in, the kind of actions you want to take to continue to lead and thrive in your career. All of that is within your perimeter of control. But if you don't have a mapping tool, if you don't have a map for your career, you will then not know how to walk the journey, or to know when things are going wrong or right. Because if you don't have a mapping tool, then it means you don't have a benchmark against which to compare your progress on a weekly basis. I do have a career mapping tool on my storefront that you can take advantage of. It will show you all of the things that you need to think about, and it is a template that already has filled out answers that you also can then use the examples to fill out what you want for your career in the next 2 to 3 years. It is not a very long time horizon. There is only a portion of it that sort of helps you mentally frame where you expect to land. Other than that, every other thing you'll be filling out is almost touchable, because it is not in such a very long time horizon. So you need a mapping tool to say, okay, I'm currently an analyst. In the next 5 years, in the next 4 years, in the next 3 years, I want to become a manager, or I'm already a manager. In the next 3 years, in the next 4 years, I want to be a vice president, a director, or whatever it is. But you need to create that story, and a mapping tool will help you create that story. Besides having a mapping tool, you also need some sort of weekly check-ins with yourself. How did this week go? Now, the mapping tool will help you create a benchmark. Your weekly dashboard will help you review or manage or measure progress. The reason why a lot of people, when they go on LinkedIn and they see every other person getting one promotion, getting a job, and they feel down and they feel like they're not progressing, is because they themselves are not even managing the career they have. They are not treating their career as an investment portfolio or as an asset that is worth managing. So they are not measuring progress. Sometimes progress doesn't just come in big announcements or promotions and all of that. Sometimes progress comes in, what new skills have I learned this week? How many meaningful interactions have I held this week? Who is that new person I have added to my network on LinkedIn or outside or off social media this week? Who are the new people I'm interacting with? Sometimes progress comes in little things like that. And then when you see that, in my moderation skills, with my ability to lead meetings, I am stepping up, or with my skills of solving problems, impromptu problems, I am stepping up, it then emboldens you to go for the other opportunities you think that you're deserving of. But you need to write it down, and you need to measure it. If you want to see the tools that will help you do that, there's going to be a link in the description box. Please use that link to get a copy of the mapping tool for yourself and the weekly review dashboard that will be helpful for you as you go along in your career. It is important that you write that story with your own pen. All right, so let's talk about the next one, which is manage your manager. A lot of people think that because your manager is being paid to manage a team, therefore it is their sole responsibility to manage you. Yes, you're correct. There's nothing wrong with that. It is their sole responsibility to manage you. However, the difference between you and your peers and every other person within your team is how you go and then manage your manager, because they're already managing a lot of people. So if you make their lives easy by managing them, then you're going to be standing out, you're going to be confident, and you're going to be stepping up into new roles and progressing without issues. And I'll share some examples with you. So for instance, when you run across a problem at work, the first thing is not to take that problem and go straight to your manager and say, oh, we've got this problem. The thing you need to think about immediately you get a sight of that problem is to say, if I were to be the manager here, what would I have done to this situation? Do a bit of your own research, look for a couple of solutions, at least options to solve the problem, then go and have a conversation about how you ran into a problem and the things that you have thought about, and you just want to hear what their views are, but you're not going empty-handed. You're giving them a couple of options to work with. That way, they don't have to go and think of the answers themselves. You have already presented it to them. You are beginning to demonstrate skill beyond your current level if you do that. That's one. Two is, if you take ultimate responsibility for all the tasks, even though some of them will be going up the chain of review, if you take responsibility for when it gets done and how it gets done, it will change the dynamic with which you work with your managers. So for example, you know a piece of work to get done by you by Friday, but your manager needs to review by Monday and Tuesday, and it needs to go up the chain. Now, how are you making sure that your manager actually gets that work reviewed on Monday and Tuesday? Now, it is their role, it is their duty to get it managed, but could you help in that process? Or for instance, going into the diary and booking some slots in their diary so they don't get distracted and they actually do what matters? Do you send out an email to say, I'm just trying to remind you so we don't miss this review deadline, that you do this piece of work? You could also say something like, is there anything you would want me to do that would encourage and help you get through the reviews in as quickly as you can? Some people will typically need to compare. So let's say you're comparing numbers and all of that. They could say, okay, if you could, show me how you pick these numbers and all of that, then you can prepare some sort of Excel sheet or whatever that shows, that helps them easily trace the numbers to where they're coming from, so they can have comfort over how those numbers came into the report. So you need to come into that situation where you're not like, oh, I'm just working, I'm not manager here, to, if I were to be the most senior person here, what would I be doing? I promise you this will change everything about how you relate with your bosses, about how you're seen to be ready for progression, and about your own confidence, about your abilities yourself. So let's talk about the last thing that I've got on my mind for you. The permission you need, you already have it. And this does not only apply to your career and to just you showing up at work and all of that. It also applies to your life. You don't need permission from anybody to do the things that is on your mind to do for your career, for your life, for your family. The permission you're waiting for, you already have it. Just go and get it done. Okay, so instead of waiting and saying, oh, I don't know if I should do this, it's an idea I've got on my mind, I don't know if people will like it, so instead of worrying about all of that, you could do a quick survey and see if people like it. You just need to step into that situation where it's not about what people think or what they don't think. It's about what you do to make yourself comfortable enough to progress into the next level, or to bring that idea into reality or bring it into life. So the permission you're looking for right now, I don't know what that thing is. It may be something on your mind. I want to show up more on social media. I want to write more on LinkedIn, but I don't know if I start writing, if the people at my work will, they will see me differently, or that permission you're looking for, you're not going to get it because you already have it. There's something heavy on your mind, you should be doing, it will advance the course of your life, then you should absolutely go and get it done. Besides, it's your life, it's your one life. If you don't do it, nobody's going to see it. If you do it, and some people have thoughts and comments and ideas and all of that, then that is okay. Okay, it is okay for people to have ideas and opinions and comments about some of the things you're doing. What is not okay is you allowing those things stop you, especially if it's the kind of work that is going to change your life. So you cannot allow people's thoughts, comments, opinions to redirect you or mislead you from the transformation that you should be bringing on board for yourself. There you go. I hope these 3 points that I've raised with you in this random chat is helpful. If you want to work more closely with me, please visit my stand store and my seller store to see how we can work together. You can join my community. I've got my one-on-one sessions. I've also got a 12-week transformation program that you could opt for. I also have a lot of products that you can benefit from if you go to my storefront. Please visit my stores and you would be happy that you did. Thank you very much. I would like to see your comments, your likes, your shares on this video. Until the next time, have fun and remain fantastic.